Hello, and welcome back to Song Surveys on Sofas with Superheroes. I would just like to note that I had this pillow long before Disney Plus made it cool to like Hawkeye, so just saying. All right, anyway, I'm super excited about this song. It was a suggestion from my comments on the channel, so I was super excited. I've never heard the song before, and boy, it was amazing. So fun. Love it, love it, love it. So, the song is I Hope You Die by Bloodhound Gang, and it's definitely an interesting one. So definitely watch the video. It definitely made the first line so much more epic, and also throughout the video there are like noises that are put into the song because of what's happening in the video. So I definitely think that actually made the song more interesting because it like didn't make any part sound repetitive because there were like random noises here and there. So I understand that it was with the video, so it might not be actually on the recording, but it was nice. The video was interesting for sure. All right, so yeah, so the first line was "You must die, I alone am best," and so there's no music up to that point, and then right after that line comes in, the drums and guitar and bass all kick in, and I really liked it. Again, it has this like quick short feel. Really loved it when it becomes more full right before the lyrics start. So I really liked that, and I especially liked the change in the drums right before the lyrics starts. I really liked that. Yeah, so then this whole first verse, man, boy, does it really make clear how much the singer does not like this person. Oh boy. Yeah, so like this person, the singer is like, yeah, I hope you get into like a car accident, but not just a car accident. I want you to hit 3 giant vehicles, being the Beatles tour bus, a bookmobile, and a Mack truck hauling hazardous biological waste. Not just any hazardous waste, biological hazardous waste. And so I love the specificity. I think that it really adds to just how much this person or the singer despises this person. Like, so much. Like, I don't even want it just to be waste. I want it to be hazardous waste. And not just hazardous waste, I want it to be hazardous biological waste. Like, that is a whole nother level. So I really love that. Also, even just the specificity of a Beatles tour bus. But then that makes me question, does the singer not like the Beatles? Which is fine, to each their own, but just an interesting, like, little, I guess, nod to the Beatles. Or is it actually like what's the reverse of a nod? Ditch, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, so I thought that was interesting. And then I actually really love that towards the end of the verse there's a dual vocalist that comes in, and so I think that really helped not make it sound repetitive, because again, the music doesn't really change throughout the verse, and the singing style doesn't change, although they do they quicken the pace of the words. Hazardous biological, which I loved that decision. So good. Definitely kept my ear very interested because it's a little bit different. So I really liked that. And then the guitar gets quicker and there's shorter notes during the chorus. The chorus is probably the simplest chorus I've ever come across. Just the one word. So the word is die, and it's repeated over and over again. But what's cool is, so they repeat it 6 times, and then between the 6th and 7th time, they kind of expand the pause between the words. And so I think that that's a really smart decision, because again, they basically repeat the word 14 times in the chorus, but you get that little tiny gap between after the 6th time and then after the 13th time. So that was a really smart choice on their part. Yeah, so then the next verse, they list the people who they wish this person would hit. It is hysterical. Like, talk about the most tragic people in the world. So I actually had to look up Jerry's kids, but boy, when I did, I was like, oh my gosh, this is like devastating. So sad. So yeah, so I love to see who else was on that list but didn't make the cut, because I think that there were probably a whole bunch of, like, what could be the most tragic person to hit in a car accident? I thought they did a really good job of picking the people who you would feel really terrible for and be like, gosh, you're so like such a bad person for hitting that person. And actually the dual vocalists come in much earlier in this verse, so I thought that was also a really interesting choice, and I really liked that because again, the music doesn't really change. So the music in the first verse is the same as the music in the second verse, but that adding that dual vocalist back in a little bit earlier definitely made it feel more different. So that was a really good choice as well. So then there's an instrumental change between the lines. So the second verse kind of ends. I guess this might be like a pre-chorus technically, or technically the bridge part. I guess we can call it the bridge for right now. So love the instrumental change between the lines and the bridge. And so the lines are, I hope this helps to emphasize, and then you get this little musical transition. I hope this helps to clarify, again, musical transition. I hope you die. I also just like love those lyrics, especially because the second part, it like comes at the perfect time in the song, because the second verse, right, you're like killing all these innocent, like tragic storied people, and then you're like, wait, like, are we still mad about this person? But it like, no, wait, I just want you to understand that I still just want you to die. So I actually really like that they did that. I thought that was, again, a really wise choice. Definitely adds to the song. So yeah, so then after that, there's another instrumental transition, which I thought was an excellent decision. And I actually liked that they didn't go back into the chorus, because the chorus is so simple and so repetitive. I think it was really wise to kind of skip over it after the second verse and this bridge part and just move on to the third verse. So that was a great choice on their part. So yeah, so the dual singer in this next verse coming in again later than the previous verse was also really smart, right? Because now you're expecting it to be earlier like the second verse, but it wasn't. So I thought that was, again, a really nice choice, right? The music is very similar for each part, right? The verse music doesn't really change. The chorus music doesn't change. But when you have this like second vocalist come in or not come in, it definitely makes a difference. And I love that it was later in the first verse, earlier in the second verse, and then later in the third verse. It just, you know, those subtle details definitely make a difference. So this is the description of the cellmate, and I love it. It is fantastic. Love the bowling ball bag bob. So great. Definitely gives your mind time to kind of be like, what could that mean? And I just like love that, right? Like, what could you commit with that? What sorts of things was this person into? Like, I just think it's so great and so clever. Alliteration is fantastic, so it's really good. I like that. Yeah, paints like just such a good picture. It's so great. I also loved the Silence of the Lambs dance to Christian rock. I thought that was very funny. Again, just gives you like this amazing image. And then I actually, again, the word specificity in this is fantastic. So love the idea of not just having an imaginary friend, but an imaginary playmate, Vince. So the playmate part is like, I thought that was a really interesting term. But yeah, so again, definitely very funny verse. Then it goes back into the chorus, which again, the music isn't different and there's no change in words, but even though it's like repeated exactly the same, it didn't feel super repeated because it had been so long in the song since you had heard it, because they didn't go back into it after the second verse. So again, it's very, very smart decision. Love the last verse. It's super fantastic. My favorite line is, but you remember fist can be a verb. So he's still talking about the inmate in prison at this point. Really, really love that line. I think it's very clever. Paints an entire story with just a few words. Love it. I think it definitely gives your mind room to be like, oh my gosh, the things that are going to happen to this person. I also love that the prison guard ends up being the same person at the very beginning of the song. So I really thought that was a fantastic callback. Very clever. And again, it's like one of those things where, yes, you like heard the lyric, but you're not really thinking about that anymore. And then it brings it back and you're like, oh, that's so good. So yeah, so I really liked that. After that, they go back into what I'm calling the bridge. And so again, it's the same 3 lines and they have the same instrumental part between each line. So I really like that. And then right after that, they again go into that other instrumental part, which I really liked. And then they kind of, after they do the instrumental part, they end the song with, I hope you die. And that's it. And then it just kind of cuts off. So yeah, fantastic song. Thank you so much for the suggestion. I love when you guys suggest stuff because again, I love music, but unfortunately cannot listen to it all. So please like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.